This is the X40, Sweden's most hated long-distance train, with its strange design choices, disappointing first class and no catering options. Combined with these trains being extremely unreliable, have landed them the nickname Hippo for their big grey appearance and unreliable nature. So how bad can these trains be? Let's find out as I take a short journey on the SJ Intercity service from Uppsala down to the Swedish capital, Stockholm. Our journey begins on a cold February morning from the Uppsala Central Railway Station. And while the old station building still stands, it has been replaced by a newer modern installation. The station can easily be reached from all over the city thanks to the conveniently located bus terminal right in front of the station. And as there's still some time before our train departs, let's take a closer look at the modern station building here. It's a compact space with a few food outlets as well as kiosks. Upstairs you'll find a few more facilities, such as a travel information center. And next to the Swedish Starbucks, we can enter platform 1 and go have a look at the varied train traffic that serve this station. Mälartåg operate commuter and regional services around the greater Stockholm area and further afield. It's also the northern terminus for the Stockholm Pendeltåg network. And SJ also has a large intercity and regional operation serving the station. But perhaps right next to the station is even more interesting with a small narrow gauge railway. This is a fully functioning heritage railway, but unfortunately it doesn't see regular service during the winter months. But we wouldn't have time to explore it anyway, as our train is now arriving. This is the X40, a double-decker multiple unit built by Alstom from 2004 onwards. They can reach speeds of up to 200 km per hour. As the stop is very short, let's quickly get on board. I'll be traveling in first class today, which is located towards the front of the train on the upper deck. Surprisingly, it comes in a 2+2 layout and is actually very busy today. And as someone was occupying my reserved window seat, I decided to settle for one of these couch seats. Our train ended up departing Uppsala Central Station a few minutes behind schedule at 9:54. And this is shaping up to be a really beautiful winter day for some train travel. And with our journey now well underway, let's take a closer look at the route map for today's journey. We are on board SJ Intercity 265, which has started this morning in Ljusdal and come down via Gävle to here in Uppsala, where we will join the train. Here we continue with one stop at Arlanda Airport on our way to Stockholm, where I will end my journey. This is scheduled to take just 36 minutes to cover the 70 kilometers, giving the train an average speed of 117 kilometers per hour. After Stockholm, the train continues a bit further south to terminate in Linköping. So as we make our way down towards Arlanda and Stockholm, let's go and take a look at the train's interior. As you can see up here in first class, the layout is very varied, with tip-up seats like this, sofa seats like this. First class is in a 2+2 layout, which is a bit disappointing, especially considering it's exactly the same seats as you'll see down in second class. Over here you'll find lots of space for luggage storage, which is good to see considering these double-decker trains usually don't have a lot of space for luggage. But this has been one of the main criticisms of these trains, is that they sometimes can't cope with all the luggage on some departures. Down below you will find even more standard class seating and these quite strange flip-up seats. This is also where we find the accessible toilet. It's looking fairly clean and it seems very functional. The door shuts automatically and is locked like this. Seems to be in a good state, with a working flush. It's clean, well stocked and fully functional, so SJ, you get a thumbs up. And here you'll also find some bins. Continuing through second class, we'll go into one of the other carriages. As we pass through, this is where the train's engine and electronic compartments is located. And also where you can find one of the regular toilets. Overall, I find this interior quite strange. There's so much variation, but things also kinda feel cramped in wherever there was space. There's many stairs and steps. But I do like the wooden design and ambience that is generally present on SJ's longer distance trains. And the reason for this quite strange and varied interior is probably that these trains were ordered to do a bit of both regional commuter services out of Stockholm before Mälartåg took over, but also replace some of SJ's older rolling stock on longer regional and intercity services. However, this has created a mess, as the train struggles to handle luggage on routes like this to the airport, because SJ tried to fit as many seats as possible to accommodate more commuters travelling in and out of Stockholm, while also trying to serve the long distance intercity routes such as this one, or the Stockholm to Göteborg regional trains. But there's good news for these trains, or at least I hope. As a lot of the regional traffic SJ was operating in and out of Stockholm has now been transferred to Mälartåg using their much better equipped ER1 double-decker trains for those services. Meaning these trains now is mostly used in SJ's long-distance regional trains and intercity services. And as these trains are currently undergoing a major refurbishment and modernization program, one can hope that SJ has taken this into account and will fix up the interior so it's slightly more suited for long-distance services. Not long after departing Uppsala, we enter the tunnel, taking us into Arlanda airport. We stop at Arlanda Central Station, one of 3 stations serving the airport. And after a brief stop, we speed towards Stockholm Central Station. One thing SJ does really well is their app. It makes it easy to show your ticket, get live journey informations, also for local transit, as well as connect to the free Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is 4G based, which is generally pretty good in Sweden, but can have a few gaps. Between Arlanda Airport and Stockholm Central Station, there are plenty of smaller stations which are served by the SL Pendeltåg network, with intercity services such as ours running right past them on the outer tracks. And as that means we'll be in Stockholm in no time, we still gotta take a look at the first class seats before we arrive. There's a large storage pocket, as well as a good tray table that was very sturdy. You'll also find power at every seat, and also a large wooden armrest, as well as a pretty comfortable headrest and seat base with a good ergonomic design. But I just don't really get what you pay for in first class. The seats are perfectly comfortable even for longer journeys, but it's exactly the same ones as in second class, even in the same 2+2 layout. There is no catering or anything offered to at least differentiate first class a tiny bit from second, and as first class was just as crowded as second, the usual benefit of first class being a little more quiet was not present either. So first class seems to make 0 sense to me on board these trains. So that's what really surprised me, because SJ usually has a really high standard on their intercity services. Their high-speed trains, as well as classic loco-hauled intercity trains, all have things that makes first and second class distinct from each other and access to a bistro. But when the X40 is used on intercity services, it has none of that, which I find so strange. And now, as we are pulling into Stockholm Central Station, it's time to talk about tickets. A ticket on the intercity service between Uppsala and Stockholm is a fixed price of 165 Swedish crowns, or about 15 euros, which is about 4 euros more wasted for nothing compared to second class. So make sure, if you are paying for first class on SJ, that you are picking one of their trains with an actual first class product and not the X40. So as we arrive, I find it quite difficult what to think of this train, because overall the train is comfortable, but the way SJ sells, market and use this train is just not very good, combined with the train having reliability issues. It's just very disappointing considering how good the other long distance product SJ offer are. So what do you think of the X40? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, as I try to upload a new one every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Twitter at Intercity Simon. I usually post live from my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming to the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.